Let's go.
Dr. Rosie Milligan, one of the most sought-after speakers on the circuit today. Her live internet talk show, Express Yourself, is the most provocative, thought-provoking, and talked-about radio show on the internet. There's no holds barred, and Dr. Milligan puts the B in bold. She brings it every Tuesday live at 10 a.m. Pacific and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dr. Rosie has been proclaimed the most provocative female writer of the century. Her books include Satisfying the Black Man and Black Woman Sexually Made Simple, Why Black Men Choose White Women, and the book Nigga Please. These books have raised eyebrows across the country. She has authored 21 books and published 350 titles for authors nationwide. Check Dr. Rosie out at drrosie.com for her books, articles, and archives of her internet talk show. Sit at the feet of wisdom. Dr. Milligan is indeed a timekeeper and scorekeeper. She is the clock, calendar, and almanac for Black America. You need to hear her.
I am your host, Dr. Rosie Milligan, coming to you live always as we do with nothing but straight talk. This is a wonderful day, sunny California, and my co-hosts I have two fabulous co-hosts, Mr. Keith Swanson, we call him the AI man. People have been looking for him. They don't believe he exists. They keep asking me, Dr. Rosie, is he real? We never see him. He's been in your midst. He's at all of my function events. You should have recognized his voice. We had a lot of money on the table last year for the person who reached out and was able to catch him and say, I got Mr. Keith, but, well, the money went away. Mr. Keith, are you on this morning? If so, holler, Mr. AI man. Well, I don't hear him holler, so maybe he's going to chime in later. My other co-host is wonderful, Miss Shawana Bordenay. She's a real estate guru in her own right. She sells houses, buy houses all over the country. You have any need for real estate, you want to give her a holler. Good morning, Shawana.
Great morning, Dr. Rosie.
You want to start out giving a shout out of that number?
Yes, I will do that. If anyone's looking to do any type of real estate, have questions, need help with anything, give me a call. My number is 818-201-6565. Once again, that's 818-201-6565. I buy and I sell and I list. We just do it all. So please give me a call. Let's take care of you.
Thank you, Shawana, and it's a good time to be talking about real estate. It chimes right into our urgent message, our urgent topic today. And I have with me a wonderful guest. She's from up north. Her name is Rochelle, and there'll be other guests joining us, and there will be other people who have testimonies. In fact, Phyllis Hollers, she's going to be on the line to talk about what happened to her under Proposition 19. Today, folks, we're going to talk about the topic is Stop the Death Tax on Property that Robs Children of Their Inheritance. It's time to stop the economic hemorrhage, you guys, caused by Proposition 19. Now, parents should be able to transfer their homes and other property to their children without triggering reassessment and a massive, I said massive, tax increase. So, but we the voters can repeal the death tax and restore the vital taxpayers' protection for California families if we get out and sign these petitions to repeal Prop 19. And I have someone on the phone with me, my guest, who's been working tirelessly, just as myself. We understand the importance of this. We have seen the devastating effect it have had on people around us. So she's on the ground. We call boots on the ground. She's out there. So let me introduce you to her. Her name is Rochelle. Good morning, Rochelle.
Hi there. Hi, Dr. Rosie and all the listeners. I'm Rachel, and I am working to repeal the death tax, and I want to hear any questions that you have.
Well, tell me a little bit about, let's talk about, there's some people probably have no clue what this is all about, you know. So let's talk about how important it is and what it can do for the next generation, because, you know, my focus is estate planning. That's about leaving something for the next generation. I'm hot on that. And to see what's happening with Prop 19, you can imagine how that disturbs me when a parent has worked hard, gone without sacrifice to leave something for their children. And it ends up that the tax becomes such a burden that they can't keep it in the family. And I think the sad part about it is the fact that, say, Rachel, you're my daughter and you already have a home, or you may be living in Texas, someplace else. And if I make my transition, and if you don't move in that home, then the tax going to go up to market value. And I've seen tax go up from $500 a month to $1,200 on the new person. Folks, that's cold-blooded. That is the essence, the top of land grab as far as I am concerned. So, Rachel, tell the audience a little bit more about why we're doing this and why it is so important.
Well, let's talk about the history. Yeah, for about 35 years, all Californians had the right to pass on their property without triggering a reassessment. Now, with the passage of Prop 19, it will be taxed at current market value. So, yeah, exactly. We're seeing these huge increases. And so if people have to start paying these huge amounts, they may lose their properties, or if they can't pay, they can't stay, and they may have to move out of California. So we have one example where the house was reassessed for over 1,000% to $37,500 a year in property taxes, and there's a school teacher in there. So how long can they last, doing that? Are we going to lose our teachers, our nurses, service, retail people? So we really have to make people aware that they've lost this right, because you worked hard to get your property, and you want to be able to leave that to your children. And if they can't afford it, they may be forced to sell that property.
Wow. And I have a client, the mother passed, and both of the daughters own property. So she left this house to them. So they rented the house out to that daughter. Very happy about the fact we can rent her house. It doesn't have to be more than what she can pay. We own this house. Our mother left it for us, and what a blessing. We can allow our daughter to move in it and not have to pay the astronomical rent elsewhere. Reassess the property. The tax was $743 twice a year, first and second payment. That's like $1,500. The property tax went up to $8,000. Did you guys hear me? $8,000. Now, what do? You go back now, you got to add another $700 a month to your child's rent. Folks, this is what we're talking about. And the sad part about it used to be the property was exempt, whatever property that you own. But now it is so bad, you guys, that if it's an apartment and there's 4 units and your child move in one, the other 3 going to be reassessed.
Yes.
If it's a duplex, the other part going to be reassessed. Folks, in this day and time, in this economy, this economic era, can you imagine what's going to happen to those who left behind in California? Jobs disappearing, all types of things. We're in the worst economy we've seen in a long time.
Right.
So we need everybody. We need people who have connection with churches to get to the minister. We'll come out and talk to them, or we'll give them the information. We need boots on the ground. We need to make sure these petitions are signed, and we don't have a long time to do it. Folks, we're only about 6 weeks out. This year will be over. We have to get this on the ballot. I believe it would happen if we can get it in the face of enough people, because most people don't know about it. And when you tell them, they can't believe that. So, oh, no, I know they can't go up on the tax like that. That's the conversation Shawana people say to me. But they can't do that.
They can't, and they will. And they'll take your property from you. And, based on that $8,000 number that you were just stating, $8,000 divided by 12, that's $666 a month extra that you have to pay. So, what can the child afford? Because you have $666 on top of that, on top of your water, that's crazy, the gas that's high, and all of these things that no one even considers. But that's a huge difference. $600 off of the rents. I mean, you're not even really netting anything if it's a single family. So it really does put a hurting on families keeping the properties and in the family. And we do need to keep them in the family. But I definitely say we need to fight this.
Yeah, and the sad part about it, Shawana, if you can't afford it, then you can't. If you can't afford to buy or to stay, you can't afford to rent because the rent is so high. Rachel, you have some other experience. And I know we have guests on the line who have had an experience, but let me get the number out too for those who want to call and talk to Rachel or myself, Shawana. The calling number is 310-928-7733. That's 310-928-7733. And if we have a guest on the line who want to share their experience, just go ahead and open your mic. Let me have some comments from Rachel. Let her chime in, and then we'll go to the callers.
Yeah, I also want to stress, people may think, oh, it doesn't affect me, I don't own property, but it's also going to affect small businesses and renters. So if you're in a mom and pop landlord, and the inheritor can't afford the building, what are they going to do? I mean, the new property rates, right? So they're going to pass those rates on to you and increase your rent, or they may be forced to sell. Now, the renters will have to move where, if they've been there long term, how do they find a place that, was renting at their original low cost, right? So they're going to have to start over. They probably will have to pay higher rent. So it will affect a lot of people, and we really have no time to delay. And the great thing is the petition can be passed around through text and email, social media. There's a link, and you download it at home. You mail it in. Everyone must have that declaration of circulator filled out at the bottom and the county on the top. Fill it in, and you've done it. And we're asking everyone to share that link with everyone they know. But yes, boots on the ground, because it's due in January.
And that's what's so important for me, what I like about it, that people can download at repealthedeathtax.com. They can download the petition. That's the first I've seen a petition. You can download it. There's instruction how to complete it. And folks, it is so critical. And Rachel, you mentioned something really important about these commercial buildings. The tax gonna go up on those because, number one, the only way you can get exempt, well, when you're talking about from parent to child, Shawana, that's on your personal residence that you must have lived. That must have been your principal resident. Say, for instance, you were living in Texas, but you have a home out here. That's not your principal place of residence, so automatically that tax is going up to market value. And God forbid that you have a mortgage on it too, and the tax going up.
That's what I'm saying. That's extra.
Yes, like in Leimert Park, the tax is going to go up because they're over $1 million, probably like $1,200 to $1,200 a month. That's a lot of money, folks. That is land grab at its best. Okay, so this time I know we have, let's see, Phyllis Hollis, are you on the line? Open up your mic if you are. If not, we have other people in the wing. If you want to chime in, go ahead and open your mic and let us know what you have to say. Okay, we have a lot of people on the line. If you open your mic, you can make comment. Phyllis, are you on the line?
Don't be shy. Jump in, y'all.
Yeah, because this is something we want to make sure the word get out.
Is that my AI?
That's AI. AI jumped in.
Is that my money maker?
Yeah.
Yes, you're 90. You're 90.
192.
Exactly. Yes, sir. Now, you guys, this is a serious matter. And I guess you know how serious it would be for me, being an estate planner, looking at people already losing their home through probate and not making preparation. But we're talking about people who have made preparation, who have worked hard to leave something for their children. And can you imagine a 4-unit apartment? Your parents make that transition. You move in one, but the tax gonna go up at market value for those other 3 units.
Yeah, and there's a lot of parents that would have sold the property and left California and moved someplace else, but they kept the property, knowing that their children can't live here unless they pass on their home or their property onto their children. I know there's a lot of people just like that. They're refusing to sell. Especially in Los Angeles because black children cannot stay in this city without the parents passing on their property. So this is really crucial for black people.
Yeah, it's really crucial across the board, Keith, because remember, it's only 15% of people that face with wealth in this country right now. With the state of the economy, it's devastating for everybody. Everybody.
Oh, it's going to get worse.
More families are moving in to live together. It's going to get worse. And it's not fair to this next generation to have to bear this burden of what Prop 19 has to offer.
No.
Rachel, did you have someone that called in that want to testify about what's happened to them?
I don't have anyone else to bring on board, but I'm just collecting stories. Here's another example. Senior citizen disabled on SSI in San Francisco. The assessor's office is really backlogged, so they finally got 4 tax bills that are due in a matter of months.
Wow.
$65,000.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's going to hit people. And, people are like, oh, the rich people. I'm like, well, the rich people have enough money to pay for increases. The middle class, the lower class are going to be hit very hard. We're the ones really fighting. We're out volunteering. We're trying to save our homes. And people like, oh, you have $1 million home. Go sell it and leave. Where's the humanity where it's my home? I want to live in my home.
Right.
I want to live in my home, in my community, and everything that's established here for me and for all these other California families.
Well, Rachel, you can imagine what it's going to be like for those who have commercial property. And you mentioned that earlier, God forbid, because you can imagine what a little shopping strip or some of these commercial buildings are worth.
Right.
You're talking about hit hard with tax. And now you got to go up on the rent of the tenants. So, and that means you're going to lose out. Hey, we're already looking at, Keith, what's happening in these commercial buildings right now. I understand San Francisco. I think you were telling me that, Keith. A lot of these people, since COVID, decided they don't have to pay all this rent. They're moving, downsizing their office. They have people working from home. Commercial renters are already suffering right now. So you better get out there. Don't just think it's about housing. As Rachel said, it's about building. It's about real property. And you're not living in the commercial property. So right away, you can count on that tax going up so high. Will you be able to keep that building? Folks, we're in a crisis right now. Phyllis, are you on the line? Phyllis Hollins. Okay. That's one of my clients. Go ahead.
Dr. Rosie, I remember speaking to someone at the tax office regarding this bill, and they told me that this bill came to their minds like 2 weeks before the ballots went out, and it went out and actually won. I couldn't believe it. They said they didn't put it together right. That's why they extended it, because they did not put the bill together right, because it was something that was just thrown together at the last minute, and we need to just read these things before we start voting on it, because it matters. We get so caught up in letting other people tell us how to vote when we should be doing the reading, because if we read this, we would not have allowed this to happen. And it had to have enough votes to pass through in order to be approved. So we, as owners of properties, as you know, we want the right thing for our country and for our state and for our cities. We have to read these ballots.
Yeah.
It's really important to read it.
And even if you don't own property, you're a renter.
You're renting. You're
So
renters.
if the owner has to go up on the rent, folks, this thing impacts all of us. So don't sit back and say, I don't own any property. And you never will own any the way they're going if this is going to happen. So please pass the word out. It's not just for people who are trying to protect their home from the tax going up on their children. This thing impacts us in every way. If you're renting, if you're not buying the building that you're renting, and most people who are business owners, yes, most of them do not own the building where they're renting their business establishment. So this is going to hurt everybody. So we need to get the word out, and all those people in your family that's not registered to vote. This is the time you need to take it personally and make sure that they register, and then get them to sign this petition. Folks, time is of essence. These numbers have to be in, I believe, January 2024.
16. January
16th. That's right around the corner.
Could you send out again how to do that? I mean, we should talk about that throughout this show so that more people can register. So please let everyone know how to register.
Go ahead and give them that web.
So, yes, repealthedeathtax.com to get the petition. That's easy for people to remember. Us volunteers, we put a website together called forcalifornians.com. That's FOR, Californians with an S.com. We also have the petition there, but we also have many resources, instructions, information, language translation, flyers you can download. And we also are trying to put a schedule of where you can table. So if anybody is out tabling, send us information, or you can look, is anyone tabling in my area? Look for that on our calendar page. And we have a Get Involved section. And there's many things you can do just from your own living room. You can get on that page, get involved. You can see, you can call people, you can post on social media, Nextdoor, Facebook, TikTok. You can copy and paste the script with the petition embedded in it already. Send that out to everyone you know, and it's on there. But we need volunteers. Volunteers equals signatures, and we need to get the word out. So you go ahead, you click on the link, you download the petition. You're looking at page 5 to print the actual petition. Mm-hmm. Page 4, we have a new California law. It has the top funders, so you see who funds the campaign. And then you fill out the county. It's very important to write legibly, black and blue ink, and write out in full the county and the city. Print legibly. We want that auditor to be able to see, okay, I know exactly where this person lives and their name. We want your signature to count. There's a space for the first signer, second signer. They both have to be in the same county. And if you got this at home, you're downloading it at home, go ahead. Fill out that declaration of circulator at the bottom. Fill in every blank. Put your address in again. That's exactly what they're asking for. Think of it as this section is a witness. You are declaring you are the witness to yourself that you signed it. And if you want to go out and be a signature gatherer, we have a whole pamphlet put together, a guide with everything in it. You go out, get the signature, you get that 5 pieces of information, and then you go fill out everything else. Doesn't matter what county. You don't have to be a California voter, nor live in that area. You just have to just collect the signature and sign that, hey, I saw them sign this, and I showed them the top funder. So any questions you have, we're happy to answer. Please call in. We want to educate people, and we don't have time to delay. We're down to about 50 days, everyone. These are your rights. A California law that was taken away without people really understanding that it was taken away. We want it on the ballot, and people can vote on it. That we need you, no time to delay. And I can't understand, why wouldn't you put the next 50 days of effort in to save yourself maybe $100,000 in 5 years. That's just an example of the money we're talking about versus the effort you put in now. So we need to sign the petition.
Absolutely.
And keeping the property in the family as well. I mean, you don't want to have to sell. You want to sell if you want to, but not be forced to sell.
Right.
You know,
absolutely.
So definitely.
Can I comment?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, well, for being forced
give
to sell.
Give us your name first.
Hi, my name is Phyllis Hollins, and I would like to comment on being forced to sell. I acquired my mother and father's property, me and my sister, and the two of us decided that she didn't want to hold on to the property. She wanted to sell, and I wanted to hold on to the property. I had no idea that if she opted out and sold her portion to me, that her portion would be heavily taxed. Wow. And because of the heavy taxes, I couldn't have kept the property if I didn't have means. If I didn't have means to pay, because it caused the property taxes to go up 300%. They went from $147 first and second installment to $2,000, and so that caused the mortgage payment that they gave me to borrow the money to pay her to go up over $1,000. If I wasn't able to pay that extra amount of money, and I didn't get word of the increase until a year later, if I wasn't capable and able to handle that bill, I would have lost my parents' property.
Wow.
And it's sad because a lot of people don't have the means, the financial support to pay that. And most people lose their inheritance because of that. And you have no idea. And that's because they changed the law.
And most people don't know. Right.
Most people don't know.
Yeah, see what happened is you guys pay close attention to that. That property left to both of them. So when her part to sister's part did not go from parent to child, it went from sibling to sibling. Okay? So then that's why you saw that big increase.
Right. Maybe. It changed the dynamics of the
transfer.
transfer.
The whole dynamic.
Right. It was no longer parent to child.
Right.
It automatically became a sale of the property, and it goes based on what it's assessed for. Mm-hmm.
Well, see,
and I had no idea that was going to take place. And it's only by the grace of my higher power, my beliefs, that kept me strong and allowed me to reach out to someone who could assist me and paying the mortgage on a regular basis. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to hold on to the property. I would have had to sell it.
I think your tax initially went from small amount to $8,000 until there was.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
It went up to $6,000 and something, and I have to pay every installment, first and second installment, over $3,000.
Yeah.
Where it was originally $747, and it was supposed to be a parent-to-child transfer.
You see what happened from parent to child, but then when she bought the other person out, folks, this is nothing to play with. We're going to have a lot of property loss, so I think everybody needs to be boots on the ground. Whether you own property or not, I want to repeat, you will be impacted because whoever have to pay extra tax, that's going to cause them to charge extra rent. So we are all impacted. We're all impacted. Thank you, Phyllis, very much. I'm glad you were able to get on and share that, and I'm glad you were able to have means or to find means, okay, to keep that property.
Yeah.
To keep that property. Rachel, back to you.
Yeah, so, unfortunately, the voters voted 51% in 2020. There was only a 3-month window to change your estate to protect yourself.
That's right.
You knew that you were going to be affected, right? Then you'd have to be able to find someone, and this was all new. So a lot of departments and peoples and agencies were trying to figure out how this law would change. We even tried to get the legislators to go, hey, we need more time. We've got to get everyone on board and just figure this out. It was denied. We tried. This is our second attempt to get it on the ballot. We even went to Sacramento this year, and the representative walked out before it started. They don't want to hear from us. We're the people. We need to revolt. We need to take back our property, our lives. We need to be educated. And we need to understand that voting has consequences. And it's not just about the title and the summary. Go ahead, read this argument. And now I'm even learning, go back to the actual text, because that will actually be the actual law of what's going to change. And so it didn't say Prop 58 in the summary. And that's what we're talking about. We lost Prop 58, which was parent to child, grandparent to grandchild. We lost that right. They also is something about going around. They want to make us lose Prop 13 as well. And these rights are being taken away from us. We need education. And maybe you don't understand. It is a lot to learn. But we need you to understand the basics, that these were rights to protect and keep people in California because the rates were going up. And they're doing it again. And that proposition was like, oh, it's here to help wildfire victims and the portability that you're 55 and older. And those were great things, but it was a Trojan horse, and it hid what was in the back about this Prop 58. What you guys can do right now, anyone listening, get on your computer, write it down, repealthedeathtax.com. Go ahead. You can start texting it to your friends during this call. Or like I said, we have scripts on the resource page, copy and paste that. And we do have explanations on our page to help you understand more. But it is of urgency, and it's to get it on the ballot so people can decide. If not, we'll have to keep trying again. But we want to protect you guys and help you stay in your homes. Repeal the death tax. Download the petition. You just have to mail page 5 back. You can put about 5 or 6 in an envelope, 66 cents. Dr. Rosie, you have some at your place, right? People can sign at your office?
Right. You can come to 1425 West Manchester Avenue, Suite B. That's Los Angeles, California. That's just west of Normandy on Manchester Avenue, 1425. And let me give you the telephone number. That's 323-750-3592. 323-750-3592. If you are not able to print it out, just come by the office and pick up some petition, because you want to make sure, and we'll explain, just how to do it. As Rachel told you, it's 2 signatures on one petition, but if you live in different counties, you have to sign a separate one. So we will make sure, in fact, we look at it, we make sure before they leave, because we want good petition. We don't want petition that's not going to count, that's not legible. Folks, this is a critical move that we're doing right now, and we need everybody on board. See what happened when they started talking about the aid for the fire people and elderly able to move and keep their tax bases. All that was good, but people understand we are not trying to rescind any of that. What we're talking about is not going to take away any of that part of the bill. Because, Rachel, I think some people are confused with that. They think if Prop 19 is repealed, that all those other benefits that many people voted for would be lost. But that's not true. Like you said, it was a Trojan horse. Because how many people, is more people need to keep their taxes lowered than it is of elderly who want to move and carry their tax base. I mean, it was really a raw deal.
Right. What we're asking for is to fix Prop 19. If you've got anyone into social media, hashtag fix Prop 19. And that's what we want to do. There were great things about the portability and protecting the wildfire victims, but it was that Trojan horse hurting the rest of us. And so we just want to fix that part. So the good parts, don't worry about that. We're asking, hey, we want to fix the part. We want our protections back so you can give your property to your family without triggering a massive increase. Like I said, I'm seeing over 1,000% increase.
Cool.
You know, people talk about fair. Well, is it fair to shoot it up that high? Is it fair to vote on something that people didn't know they were voting for, a California law? Is that fair? So what's fair? Let's bring it on the ballot. We can vote on it, but we need education, and we need all of you to spread this information to everyone you know. If you want to volunteer, you know, forcalifornians.com, you can see how to volunteer, how to do signature gathering. We'll even help you. The number, 628-243-1808. Once again, 628-243-1808. We'd be happy to answer questions, but most everything is already addressed on our website. Have a look at it all. There's also a 13-page slide, educational slide, that you can look and understand, like the numbers and the examples. But, you know, remember, most trust will not protect you. It will protect you from probate, but not from a California tax increase.
Absolutely.
So remember that.
Absolutely. I'm glad you raised that, because someone asked you a question. If I have a trust has nothing to do with it. It's based on that property value. So folks, please get the word out. And anyone in your family, your friends, just ask them straight up, are you registered to vote? If not, they need to teach them how. They need to get registered to vote. We need everybody on board this time.
Yes, you can look online, but on our website, forcalifornians.com, on the resource, we have the link to register. You can do that in 10 minutes, and then after that, you can sign the petition. You know, your vote matters, everybody. It does. You've got to vote. You've got to vote. Not voting also has consequences. You know, we've had veterans who died for our right to have freedom of speech, and we are given in this country the right to vote. You may not understand every issue, but try to understand one on your ballot. Make that difference, because you shape your country as well, and let's keep that power to be able to vote on things. So educate yourself, call us up, talk to us, learn, talk to your friends, bring it up to your neighbors and say, hey, do you know what you've lost with Prop 19? I mean, maybe people didn't realize you had this great, incredible right to pass on the property. Now that's gone. Please talk to everyone you know. Bring it up. Put that on your social media site.
Absolutely. And have them to download repealthedeathtax.com. And what is your website again, Rachel?
It's for Californians, because we're helping to repeal the death tax for Californians, FOR. Californians with an S.com.
Okay. Okay, you guys, you can register to vote from a website. You can get a petition from her website. So it's a one-stop do it. So folks, how long do we have, Rachel?
We have about only 50 days left. You can also get a flyer on there and put that up on a window, or tell businesses to put it up. And we have a QR code, even at the top of, if you go, like, let's say on a phone, you go to our website, you take a screenshot and or zoom in there, or on the website, zoom in, take a picture. You've got our website now. You go to your friend, you show them the website, they scan the QR code, it brings up the website onto their computer. Wow. Or onto their, their phone or their device. You know, we have like even a code on there. Hey, if you have an iPhone or, Apple product, you, like, for instance, I put FFF and I've got it to spell out forcalifornians.com. So as soon as I see someone, I'm like, hi, can I just text you? I put FFF and then I hit it, click on it, send it. They now have the website. So it's all there for you. We have the resources. We need manpower and we need education. We've gone to the media. We've gone to the legislator. Please let people know, and we're not getting it. So, Dr. Rosie, thank you for this opportunity to let your viewers know. LA, if we can get LA on board, you guys can help bring it to the ballot.
Exactly.
So, LA, are you with us? And LA and SoCal, you've got the numbers. We need you. Please volunteer. Please sign that petition. Please share it.
Exactly. You guys, we have some callers. Go ahead, callers. Open the mic. Give us your name. Tell us where you're calling from. Go ahead, caller.
Go ahead,
Caller, go
jump in,
ahead.
y'all. Jump in, y'all. Don't be scared.
I'm
Don't be
here. I'm
scared.
hearing you.
Okay, go ahead, caller.
We know how much you depend on the reliability of our products and services.
Caller.
You know, we've taken a
No, Phyllis.
new reliability
Okay.
with our latest network
Okay.
technology.
Okay.
Whoever have the mic open need to mute. We have a lot of callers. They need to just jump in. Caller, go ahead.
Which number are you looking
Our expert spectrum technicians.
Eastern time. So anyone missed it, they have a chance to go and look. In a couple of days, it'll be on my YouTube channel. It's important to hear this dialogue so you get a good understanding about what is taking place.
They said Lynn is on hold.
Lynn, go ahead.
Oh, he hung up. Okay.
Okay,
You know,
Lynn hung up.
Also, for those of you that are listening to this, if you have any questions on properties that you may own that you're having issues with, give us a call and let us see what we can do as far as helping you out as well.
Exactly. And the tax assessor's office is so backloaded, it's just unbelievable. They're sending things out to people twice. I mean, they are so confused themselves because they were not ready for this, and they admitted they didn't like it, and especially the tax assessor here, Jeff Pring. He was not for that at all. He fought it tooth and nail, and most of the other tax assessors in California were not for this because they knew it was not the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm. Right. I know. It was horrible. When I read it, I thought this is bad. This is really bad. But because they're basically trying to take the properties from us. And they even did that with our buildings. But thank God that didn't get passed. The commercial buildings, like let's say if you own a property on Crenshaw Boulevard, if the property is valued at $3 million or plus, they try to get that passed where it gets reassessed regardless of it even changing hands. But that did not get passed. And you know they're going to put it back on the ballot. So it's our duty to read these things because could you imagine owning a building? Of course, they would come in and try to get the property from us. They don't want us owning a property. You know, unfortunately, I had this, and I'm not going to go. I'm going to say something, but I'm not going to go there. But we have to protect us, our community, our Black community, our ownership, because it is our right to own property, and we have to make sure that we take care of it. So if you guys have any questions or anything, you can call me. I'm going to give you my number again, 818-201-6565. I'm here to answer any questions. And, of course, Dr. Rosie's here as well. Dr. Rosie, you want to give them your number again?
That's 323-750-3592. 323-750-3592. And you guys, this thing is impacting all of us, all of our buildings. Because many people who are renting do not own their building. So whoever they go up on the tax is going to impact you. And where are you going to go? You can't say, well, I'll move my business to Lancaster. Yeah, right. We have a right to stay right where our parents have labored and left land for us. We have a right to be there. We have a right of inheritance. And that's what's being blocked. We're robbing children of their inheritance, and it is not right in any shape, form, and fashion. Lynn, you were on hold and you dropped. Lynn, do call back because I really want to hear what you have to say on this topic. It's really important. Call back, Lynn, and we'll make sure we get you in. If there's someone else on the line that had a comment. This is serious business. Serious business.
Yeah, a lot of money's going to change hands if we don't do something.
I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, a lot of money has gone into these petitions and making it work. Now, this is second time, right? You know, so we don't want to have to come back a third time trying to do this again. By the time we get it on the ballot again, look how many people have lost their properties, you guys. Come on.
There may not be a third time, so we got to do it now.
There may not be a third time. By that time, you just heard the testimony of Miss Holland this morning. Yeah. I mean, look what happened to her, folks. What she represented, thousands of other people. People dying every day. Mm-hmm. Property is being transferred every day.
Yeah.
And when that takes place, by the time we wait another term to get on the ballot, if we don't hit this one,
Yeah.
folks, look how many people would have lost their properties.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look how many businesses would have had to close their doors because the rent went up.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's precious few of us already in Los Angeles as it is. And if this really hits, that means most of your young people will have to leave.
Wow. Wow. Carlos, go ahead. Those that's on the phone, go ahead and open your mic. You're out there. You're online to speak. Go ahead. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, even
technician, there's plenty of callers. Go
even
ahead,
if it hasn't happened to you, I mean, it could happen to you. The thing is that it's going to happen to either you or somebody that you know, especially whether you're older or younger. Because especially for young folks, because the thing is, you know that you can't live here if your parents lose their, if you die and you have to, they jack up the property tax. You can't live here. You can barely live here now.
Yeah, and Keith, look at the young people now. College graduate degrees had to move back home already.
Had to move back home. Imagine if your parents don't survive. Yeah.
Yeah, and now you can't keep the house. You living with my dear. You living with Granny.
Yeah.
And
yeah. And sometimes it's 3 generations. If Granny dies, guess what's going to happen to everybody else?
And see what happens, Keith. If the with the parent to child and grandchild, the grandchild can receive that protection only if both of his or her parents are deceased. But that still, they can not have the reassessment if that is the circumstance. Folks, you need to get on that phone right now. Before you get off here, you ought to be texting somebody and tell them to go to repealthedeathtax.com or go to
and that's
for Californians.com. The death, DEATH. Repeal the death, DEATH tax.com. And you can go to for Californians with an S.com because they have a lot of other resource information. Folks, it's plain as day. Tell you how to do this. Now we have a call. If Lynn is back, Lynn, go ahead and jump in. We would love to hear from you. California, Los Angeles, we're so, not close-knit, but not spread all out. If we just start passing that word, go down and knock on doors, folks. It's time for you to get out and go door to door, telling people about this issue. And you'd be surprised at the people who would say, oh, I never heard of that. Oh, I didn't know that. Folks, the people don't know. So it's our job to make sure that it happens. We'll be facing a new California in the next 10 years. A new California. We have a state where there's renters, not home buyers. Renters.
Yeah.
Large corporations. Phyllis, go ahead.
This is Phyllis, and I'm here to say that I'm grateful for all of you constituents, all of you that are here assisting us, transferees, the young homeowners, those that have inherited, because we couldn't make it if we didn't have people in the outskirts, out in the community, keeping us aware of what's happening and what's going on, and assisting us and getting things changed in Congress. We need you, and I'm here, and I'll be more than willing to be an advocate and go along the highways and byways to assist, to help make changes in our community and to heighten the awareness of everyone that is unaware of the situations that we're facing. Because it was such a surprise to me, and I thank God that I had the backup plan. God allowed me to have a backup plan to assist me with holding on to my parents' property, because I was totally unaware that I was not going to be eligible to keep the tax rate that was attached to this property when I first acquired it, because it took over a year for them to raise the property taxes, and I had no idea that it was coming. It was more than a slap in the face. It was like a bomb in Gilead. It was just horrible. And I had no idea that it would come to take place. But by the grace of a living God, that I was able to stand up and make it through the storm. And I'm still going through it because I'm waiting for them to make changes as we speak.
Yeah,
You
and then
know?
they're gonna send you a supplemental bill. It's not over. So, Phyllis, you know what it's like, and because the fact that you know what it's like, I know you're going to come to the office. You're going to get some of these petitions, and I know you're going to be one of those with boots on the ground because you're that kind of person, and we need you. We need
Thank
you.
you.
Really do.
Thank you. For knowing that I'm here, and I need you to give me that address again so that I can make way to your office so that I can do what's necessary to assist you all that are here to help us.
And that's 1425 West Manchester Avenue, Suite B, LA 90047. You can pick up the petitions if you can't print it down, and give me a call, 323-750-3592. 323-750-3592. And Rachel's in the Bay Area. Rachel, give them your number again.
Sure. 628-243-1808. And I want to let people know also, as a resource we have, is that most California libraries allow you about 20 free copies a day. So if you're a library patron, go in, you can get 20 free a day. Very important about the petition. When you print page 5, you cannot alter the margins. We need that 1 inch on top for that official reasons. So it has to look exactly how you see it has to come out. If it's really teeny and tiny, it's not going to count. If you put it on red paper, it's not going to count. So we need white paper, standard, printed out.
You guys, I don't beg often, but I'm begging now.
Thank you.
I'm begging now. I'm begging of you to go out and make this happen. Make it happen. It is so critical. You may feel that you're okay, but your kids, your grandchildren, look out for them. Folks, this thing will go on and on. It's not at one time something that happened. It's going to go on and on if we don't change it. If you leave it to your child, okay, and your child make his or her transition, okay, whatever the tax value is, whatever year it is from now, listen up, folks, that tax is going to increase to market value. That's forever until there's a change. Is that right, Rachel?
Correct. And so we're learning there's people out in the rural county and their properties aren't as high, so they may not understand the effect. But someone like me, who's in the Bay Area, where pretty much everything's $1 million, we're feeling it here. Mm-hmm. So, think about if you're helping Californians stay in California. Just help us get it on the ballot. We can educate more then, and then people can be informed and vote on it in November. But yeah, we're begging. We need 1 million signatures by January 16th, and we need you to do your parts, and we need you to get involved. And so on our website, you can fill out the volunteer. Let us know your skill sets. I can see what city you're in, and I could try to hook you up with other people in your city so you can start tabling. But we need you. We need you to fight for what is yours.
And the time that you have left, you guys, if you are affiliated with any organization, please give them this information so it can go. That's one quick way of getting more signature. Organization, large group, churches. They need this information. And I was talking to a minister recently, I was saying how important this is, because if the members that you have now have to be displaced, relocated, you're going to lose members by the drove within the next 5 years if this thing is not taken care of. So this impacts us all. It's interesting, Rachel. Almost everybody have a personal interest, should have in this, because it will impact the business owners, the people who own the buildings where the businesses are located. It's going to impact your churches, your synagogue. It's going to impact everything. So we all need to be involved, but everybody needs to know. They can't get involved unless they know. So I think we need to make it our personal commitment that I'm going to make sure that everybody that I know. If we all do that, I am going to make sure that everybody that I know. Wouldn't that be powerful?
That'd be very powerful. This is the biggest grassroots effort since Prop 13. And you know what you can do is you could take a picture of your petition and say, hey, did I fill it out right? Yeah, you filled it out right. You did it correctly. And once you know how it's done correctly, then that way you can train other people how to do it correctly. And so we have examples on our website and step-by-steps in a video. So there's different ways to learn how to fill it out correctly. But remember, everybody, declaration of circulature at the bottom has to be filled in. And remember that county. And write everything out. Sorry if you live in San Luis Obispo, write the whole thing out. Just better to be safe, right?
Right. And if someone was not soliciting you to fill that petition out, you just picked up the petition, then you will fill out the declaration part. You're witnessing yourself that you signed this. So please, that's important. When it get in, that part needs to be filled out. Like I say, if you have any problem, I know on the website there's samples, examples for you to go by. Folks, we must get this done. I'm telling you, if this isn't done, it's going to be a lot of regrets. Oh my God. It's going to be a lot of regrets, but it'll be afterward when it really hit them. So we got to do it now. It's today. And I'm asking everyone that's listening to commit to yourself that everyone that I know will know. I'm going to do it like they do it at church, Keith. Repeat after me.
Put your hand over your heart, huh?
Yeah, put your hand over your heart. Everybody that I know will know. Now, I can't guarantee they're going to act on it, but they are going to know. If they come within 3 feet of me, they're going to hear this story. And I think if we all make that commitment, and Rachel asked all the people you know to make that commitment, just say everybody that I know will know. If we can grab hold to that, I think we'll see a lot of petitions coming in within the next week or so. What you think, Rachel?
Yeah, exactly. It's education. I mean, if you have social media, you're just like, hi, you need to sign it, put the link there, get it out. You've got a newspaper, you can write an opinion piece, put it in there. You can go and find other Dr. Rosie type radio shows and say, please, can you interview or, put this on your air? Your people need to know these things. And, you've got organizations. You may have like the knitting club, right? You may have like a bowling club. You have the church. So you have all these networks and say, hey, can you put this in your newsletter? I don't know, but can we make people aware? Or, some people are putting it up in their car windows. Remember, don't block the view. Howard Jarvis does have you can get the banners. You do have to pay for it and pick it up somewhere, and time is running out. They're not waterproof, but there is that. But also on our webpage, we have resources, and you can press the button and you can download something to hand out or put in your windows. We have it all there. So look at it. Any questions, we'd be happy to help you. But it's education and it's getting the word out now. And go ahead, all of you who are listening, go to that printer, print it out right now, page 5, and sign it. You can get it done right now, 66-cent stamp, put it on, put it in the mail.
Right. Don't wait, don't procrastinate, folks. Time is of essence. We got to do this. And if anyone that tell them to go to Inner Light, INNER, lightradio.com at 6 p.m. and they can re-listen to the show. It will also be placed on YouTube. 310-532. Okay, you need to close your mic unless you're going to make a comment. I think we have about 2 minutes. Rachel, you have some closing remarks?
Everybody spread the word, repeal the death tax, or forcalifornians.com, because if we can't pay, we can't stay.
Oh, I like that.
No, that's true. That's true. Don't be afraid.
Wow.
You're on Facebook anyway. Don't be afraid to put it on Facebook.
In case you didn't know, you will have no place to go. Hey, in case you didn't know. Wow. There's no place to go, you guys. In other words, don't do this to your next generation. If you love your kids, if you love your family, if you just love human beings, make a difference.
And all you young folks, protect yourself, because there's no telling when Granny or Mama's going to go, and that bill's going to be yours. So protect yourself, right. And get your friends involved.
That's, Keith, you raised a point. We really need to find a way to get to all these young voters, because this is going to impact them. He just raised an issue, Rachel. That make a lot of sense. We need to find a way, because they're good on social media, TikTok. We need somebody who, TikTok. I understand that's where a lot of young people are. Rachel, can you do a video and put it on TikTok?
We've been working on it, but it's true. We need the younger generation, because that's who we're fighting for.
Yes.
And so we're trying to figure out how to reach out. And somebody said, maybe it's because they don't want to talk about this topic about their passing, which is unfortunate. But if you don't talk about it, you're going to be even a worse situation. You need to know what your family wants done with their property and assets, right? But make it a normal part of conversation, right? Because they worked hard. They want you to have these things. And if you don't take care of it, you're going to lose everything they worked for. And that's not what they would have wanted for you. So tell young people, find a way to help them understand we're trying to protect you, right? So if something is $10,000 now, and in 20 years it's $20,000, so how does the next generation going to afford $30,000, $40,000 a year in property taxes? How?
They won't be able to do it. And you can talk to young people about death, Rachel. It's not like years in the past. These young people have been surrounded by death, okay? At school, on the street, they have seen death. They have seen death so much that many of them is immune to it, particularly they live in some of these urban cities. So they are not afraid to talk about death. They know that death is real. They have lost a lot of their young friends. So we need to stop trying to get in young people's heads about what they think and what they feel. Go ask them, find out from them. I believe this would be one of the moving forces, Rachel, for us to try to find a way to reach out and get these young people, when they realize when mama gone, you may not have any place to stay. They're going to get with us, because they see it. They're at home right now. They can't afford an apartment. They're in mama's house. They're in grandmama's house. So this is real to them. Our young people are so afraid. They are so fearful. They're hopeless, because they don't even see any way out of this thing. That's why the suicide rate right now is so high among young people, because they can't see daylight. So we got to help them to understand that we are trying to do something for them. I believe, Rachel, they'll jump on board. So within the time that we have left, we need to strategize how we get to these young voters, college students.
Maybe some of them have volunteer hours that they need requirements for. They can do it that way. I don't know if there's debate clubs or political clubs, but it's an all-partisan issue, but it's a family issue. It's everybody's issue. I wish we could find a way to get the young people involved, because, they do a lot of the technology.
Yeah.
So if anybody has a way, let us know. We want to utilize the youth, but we're doing this for them as well. It's for their future.
We got to have a video for them, though. They like to see stuff versus just reading text. So we can get somebody to do a powerful 1-minute video and put on TikTok with the link and everything. I think that'll take us to a whole different level. Can you work on that, Rachel?
Sure. We also have our YouTube channel. It's on the website. You can click to that. And we do have 1-minute videos for educational purposes, so people can know. So maybe someone can play it and the young person can do, I'm reviewing this, and a reaction video. Or we wanted young people to go out and do interview styles and hey, do you know about this? Prop 19, and what do you think? So, yeah, we'd love to bring them on board. We just need to figure out how.
Well, let's talk to Susan, somebody about how to make that happen. Because if somebody come on in their voice, delivering a message that if we don't protect this, where am I going? Where will I go? I need, I need my inheritance. Can you imagine a young person going on and say, in this time, I need my inheritance to survive?
And maybe they know some social influencers, right? You could reach out to them. I don't know if any high profile, you're down in LA, there's any like movie stars with any pull, or who's passionate about this issue, if they can just be on board and post a message. But yeah, maybe these young kids know someone of social influence and who could just talk about it and let people know.
Well, that need to be our strategy. Keith, read what's on the board before we sign off.
Okay. This is coming from Dr. J. This is pure criminal activity. The economy is tanking, and the national debt is over $34 trillion. And there is no other way to secure money but to steal it. Okay. And so Dr. J also said we do a video showing a young person losing their deceased parents' fully paid off home. That is a good idea. Oh. If we can get two people with TikTok, they have phones. Yeah. So it's pretty easy for them to tell their story.
Okay. We're going to work on it. You work on it, Rachel. I'll work on it. I call Susan Scheller, tell her to work on it. We need to come up with the strategy to reach the young people. And Rachel, thank you so much for being my guest today. And I know you're going to keep your boots on the ground. So will I. So let's rock this ship, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Okay, you guys have a great day.